afternoon, and you're very welcome along to Tuam Stadium in Galway for round 3 in Group 4 of the TG Clare Ladies Intermediate Football Championship. Clare up against Sligo. Clare need to win this match by 19 points to have any chance of progressing to the semi-final stages of the All-Ireland. And at the same time in Carlow, in this group, Clare are up against Laois. So if Kildare win that game, they're definitely through. But Clare need to win here. The couple of matches to date, Sligo have lost their opening 2 matches. Clare were beaten by 2 points by Kildare in their opening match, and then scored a fairly comprehensive win over Laois in the second round. In a couple of minutes we'll be joined by the Sligo PRO and Conan, and we'll also be speaking to one of Clare's injured players, Kiva Curry. But in the meantime, for a couple of minutes, I'm going to speak to our match analyst, Anne-Marie Cannon. Anne-Marie, as we can see, conditions are going to be fairly tricky here in Tuam.
The area, I just had a walk at the pitch there now, and it's actually in really good condition considering all the rain it has made. Obviously none of the teams will be bouncing the ball, and the ball will be quite slippy, and I'd say there could be a lot of little mistakes, but that'll be for both teams. But look, the wind has calmed down, and we're looking forward to a nice game.
In terms of how this group is going to go, it's very, very likely that Kildare, they're very, very warm favourites to get that win against Laois and to get to the semi-final. But just in case they don't, Clare will be looking to win this game comprehensively if they can. Yeah,
look, Clare had a great start last week. They had notched up 3 goals in the first 15 minutes, and I know that goals win matches. Looking at the game yesterday between Armagh and Mayo, Mayo were favourites, but Armagh got the goals on the day and they won. I know Clare needs to get off to a good start today, but I've no doubt Sligo have a really young team. They had 8 debutants a couple of weeks ago, and I've no doubt that they'll put it up to Clare. I'm sure they'll crowd out to defence and work really hard for the hour. They're a very hard working team.
Thanks indeed, Anne-Marie. We'll be speaking to Anne Conan now in a second. Anne Conan is, as I said, the PRO of the Sligo Ladies Football County Board. We'll also name the teams as well. Both teams showing a number of changes, although very interestingly, Clare's Niamh O'Dea, who of course played yesterday for Clare against Cork in the All-Ireland Camogie quarter-final, is playing today as well. So that's a sign of her huge commitment. Anne is here as well. So Anne, if you can just come in a small bit closer to the mic there, please. Just give us a bit of an idea, Anne, as the rain hammers down here in Tuam. The couple of games today, Sligo have been beaten, but great to see Sligo here again today, getting ready for the 3rd game of this year's championship.
Absolutely. We've had a lot of changes going on this year, change of management at the end of last year, and I think girls were just settling into it. And then we had the COVID struck, and unfortunately with this last lockdown we got no games. So that kind of has us on the back foot. It's a team in transition, but every game we learn something from. So we're here today and going to give it our best effort again.
And as the conditions in November, never great, but I think, Anne, everybody delighted to be out playing football, hurling, or whatever sport they're playing, given everything that's gone on in 2020.
Absolutely, it's given everybody a lift, and the team is trying to gel together. And I will say that the COVID-19 guidelines the LGFA brought in, even coming here today, they've been very strict, but it has worked perfectly, and hopefully it'll continue to go on that way as well.
And thanks very much. We'll talk to you again at half time for a couple of minutes in relation to the first half. We're going to speak now in a few seconds to a player who would much prefer to be on the field warming up for this match, Kiva Curry from Clare on the Clare panel. But unfortunately, Kiva, you're out and with a cruciate knee injury, so just tell us a bit about that, how it happened and what the prognosis is.
I was training and got a bit of a bang, so unfortunately, I've torn my ACL, but I have surgery in 2 weeks' time, so hopefully I'll be on the road to recovery after that.
Very disappointing, I suppose, to miss out.
Yeah, absolutely. Sure, I'd love to be out warming up with them now, but it's just great to see all the hard work that they've been doing, and it's paying off on the pitch, so it's good to see.
Outside of ladies football, Kiva, you're a world champion dancer as well, so I assume your dancing, I suppose it's been curtailed because of COVID anyway, so maybe if you're going to get a cruciate knee injury, maybe not a bad year to get it.
Yeah, it's good timing if you can say that, I suppose, but dancing has been put on hold at the moment, and hopefully now there'll be tours back maybe in June, and I'll be ready for road in June now again.
You've seen the couple of Clare games. The game against Kildare was a really high quality game. Kildare won it by a couple of points. And then the last day, Clare had a fairly comprehensive win over Laois, so I suppose they'll be hoping to bring that forward to the game today.
Absolutely, yeah. The girls are playing really well, and like everything they're doing in training is really showing off. And like it was unfortunate against Kildare, I suppose. There was only one kick of the ball in it at the end of the day, and it was always going to be a tight game. But today, I suppose they just want to take their scores when they get the chance and get as many scores as possible, I suppose.
Kiva, thanks a lot. Particularly given that the rain is absolutely hammering down. Thanks indeed to Kiva Corrie, and we'll speak again to Kiva at half time to get a bit of analysis. As you can see, both teams warming up. Sligo down to the right and Clare down to the left. And conditions definitely will play quite a role in the game this afternoon. There's not much of a wind, but there certainly is plenty of rain. We're going to run through the teams now just to give you the starting teams. As I said, there are a few changes from the teams over the last couple of weeks. We'll start first with Sligo's starting 15, and they've got Rachel Quigley in goals. Their full back line, Rachel Quigley, as I said, wearing 16 in goals. The full back line, Aoife Morris-Rowe. At full back is Michelle McNamara, and in the left corner is Jackie Mulligan, wearing number 23. At right half back, number 20, Ruth Goodwin. Centre back, Claire Dunn, wearing 6, and at left half back, number 18, Sinead Nocton. In the middle of the field is the captain from Tourlestrane, Nicola Brennan, and she's partnered by Louise Lindsay. The half forward line, Elise Codd. At centre forward is 17, Sinead Regan, and wearing number 12, Aisling Malloy on the left wing. And the full forward line, Leah Kelly wearing 13. At full forward is Lauren Bowles wearing 14, and wearing number 15 is Rachel O'Brien. So Anne-Marie, your thoughts on the starting Sligo team?
Yeah, so Sligo reached the semi-final stages last year, and this year they have a new Sligo panel. As I mentioned in the interview earlier, they had 8 debutants for their first game a couple of weeks ago. They have great talent coming through. Lauren Bowles scored an excellent goal against Laois the very first day, so she will be dangerous on the ball. Looking then at Rachel O'Brien, corner forward, she is well able to kick points from distance. She kicked a great point against Laois last week. Looking at Nikki Brennan, she captains the team. She was unlucky to get a foot injury against Laois, but she was back against Kildare and made some inspirational runs through the centre. Looking at Ruth Goodman, then she came on against Kildare and did very well. Louise Lindsay is well able to score from distance. She's starting in the middle of the field today. Looking at their 2 games the last couple of weeks, their backs are very good to work out the ball to halfway. The only thing is they had a tendency to kick away possession, but no doubt they've worked on that at training. And we've noticed there's quite a few changes this week, and the use of the panel is very important. This is the 3rd game in the row for both teams. I know Clare have a few changes as well. It's good to mix up the team and change up the panel, and I've no doubt that the girls coming will play very well.
And just before we look at the Clare team, it's a very good point, Anne-Marie, that if teams are carrying a panel of 25, 26 players, sometimes up to 30 players, that to keep players interested, it's great to see as many as possible get a run.
Yeah, and there's lots of young talent coming through on both sides, and it's really important. As I said before, the dropout rate for young girls giving up football is 16, 17. We don't want that to happen. We want to keep girls in sport and keep girls playing football, and it's great that both managers are taking that on board and using their panels.
We look now at the Clare starting 15. Clare have got Michaela Glenn in goals for the 3rd successive game. The full back line, wearing number 19 at right corner back, is Carla Leary from Newmarket and Fergus. Ellie O'Gorman is at full back, the captain, and the other corner back is Shifra Nicunnell. The half back line, Orla Devitt, likely to line out at right half back. Coming into the half back line, wearing number 17, is Roisin Looney from Clare. And on the left wing, moving from corner back to wing back, Emer Keane. Midfield, Quiva Harvey for the 3rd successive game in the middle, and Quiva is going to be partnered by number 21, Louise Woods. The half forward line, Emer O'Connor wearing 10 at centre forward, Chloe Maloney wearing number 23, and starting on the left wing wearing 18 is Tara Kelly, and the inside line, Niamh Dee, Gráinne Nolan and Amy Sexton coming in to start today as well. So I suppose we see a good few changes there as well, and just good to see players getting a run and seeing what they can do. Yeah,
we mentioned young players there, but there's also some experienced players coming in there. Carla Leary has a lot of Camogian football, played for both county and club. Roisin Looney has been on the Clare panel for many years. Louise Woods is coming in, and she came on the last 2 games and did well. As I said before, she's a runner. She'll work really, really hard all day in the middle of the field with Quiva Harvey, so that's a nice mix there in the middle. In the half forward line, then Tara Kelly is a very physical player, works really, really, really hard. And then it's great to see Amy Sexton getting her starting place. Amy had an outstanding campaign for Kilmaria Bricken. She'll fight really, really, really hard. The first day against Kildare, she came on and she won a ball that a senior player, as in an older player, wouldn't have won. So she's very, very determined girl, can shoot off right, off left, and will be very dangerous inside, teamed up with Gráinne Nolan and Niamh O'Dea. And no doubt they'll help her along.
Looking at the weather, Anne-Marie, I'm not sure, maybe it's us, because the few minutes we spent on the sideline previewing the game to camera, the rain was absolutely hammering down. The second we come up into the stand, it's like I won't say it's like a summer's day, but it's certainly it's not raining.
No, it has the cool temperature of November weather, all right. But as I said, conditions the ball is going to be very, very slippy today. Whoever retains possession and works the ball well out of the backs, that'll be very, very important. Ball to hand all the time, and no doubt they've worked on that during the week because we had quite a lot of rain during the week. So obviously training conditions wouldn't have been great, so that both teams will be used to it.
And just as I said, it wasn't raining. You might be able to hear people viewing the live stream might be able to hear in the background that the rain is in fact hammering down again here in Tuam. And another point, and we made it in Banagher and we made it in Clonmel as well, the level of organisation from the host clubs and from the LGFA is really excellent. I mean, it's extremely impressive.
Yeah, it's phenomenal, and it's a credit to the GAA that everything is working so smoothly. Everyone has their masks on. It's done in a really safe environment, and we're just so happy that the GAA is going ahead for everyone at home.
Yeah, it certainly has been a very enjoyable few weeks live streaming. Today will be the third of the intermediate championship, TG Car intermediate championship matches. Sligo and Clare almost ready to jog into position here in Tuam. Wonderful conditions in Tuam. Not too surprisingly, a bit soft, but generally speaking, given that it is the 15th of November, conditions are as good as you're going to get. So the referee is John Devlin. He's from Galway, so he hasn't had to travel too far. He's fairly keen to get this underway because you wouldn't want to be standing around for too long out there, Anne-Marie, without a match starting, would you?
No, definitely not, and I've no doubt the subs will be warming up continuously throughout the match as well. They need to stay warm, and hopefully no one will come away with injuries. Now, as I said, the conditions under the foot wouldn't be the best, but we're looking forward to a really good game here, and the teams are just getting into position. They're lining out as per programme at the moment. Tara Kelly has moved out to she's in wing forward, and Niamh O'Dea has actually moved out to centre forward, but I'm sure Niamh will go into the full forward line after a few minutes. She just switched with Chloe there.
Yep, as we said earlier on there, if anybody who was watching the Clare Camogie team yesterday up against Cork down in Páirc Uí Chaoimh in the All-Ireland Senior Camogie quarter final, Niamh O'Dea lined out at centre back in that game, so she's had a fairly hectic weekend, and is carrying a knee injury as well, as you can see there from the bandage on her left knee, but well, she's ready to go again, and definitely won't be using that as an excuse if anything doesn't work out. So the referee, John Devlin, is ready. He's got the ball. The midfielder is Nicola Brennan and Louise Lindsay from Sligo up against Quiva Harvey and Louise Woods.
Emer O'Connor has just gone in for the throw in there.
Actually, that's well spotted, Emery. Emer O'Connor from Cool Gael has gone in, and it works well because Clare win the throw in, and Louise Woods immediately puts the ball out towards the wing, but it goes out over the sideline, beating Quiva Harvey, and it's taken fairly quickly now, and Louise Lindsay has it from Owen Rua for Sligo. It's a good ball, but really well cut out there by the Clare backs, but picked up in the middle of the field now by Sligo's number 17, and she's breaking forward Sinead Ryan. This is good defending, however, from Clare, and they win it back and break out. Louise Woods has it again now, having picked up the ball from Síofra O'Connor, and tries to get it forward as far as Quiva Harvey now. Quiva Harvey taking on her direct opponent from Sligo, Sinead Nocton, that's good football, gets it in, takes the return pass, Quiva Harvey lays it off as far as Amy Sexton gets the ball into Chloe Maloney, and Chloe Maloney off her left foot after exactly a minute puts that straight over the bar. Good start.
Yeah, that came from the half back line. Emer O'Connor tracked back, she got the hand in, and the midfield drove forward through Louise Woods and Quiva Harvey, nice ball into Niamh O'Dea, she passed it off and over the bar, great score.
Good kick out from Rachel Quigley, and it's picked up eventually by Nicola Brennan. Sligo now trying to break out their cornerback. Jackie Mulligan has it, lucky to get away with over carrying, but does very, very well to hold onto the ball and gets it away as well. That's good football, really good stuff from Sligo now, trying to hit back early, and they win the free in the middle of the field, and the free is won by Ruth Goodwin. Their number 20 takes it quickly, finds Rachel O'Brien. Rachel O'Brien flicks it on as far as Sinead Regan gets it in towards the full forward. It's a great run by the Sligo full forward off the post, comes back very unlucky there from Lauren Bowles. That was did everything right, but unfortunately for Sligo it hit the post, and Clare now coming clear through Orla Devitt on the far side of the field as the rain hammers down here in Tuam Stadium. She lays it off as far as Quiva Harvey. Quiva Harvey turns back, gives it back to Orla Devitt. She spills it the first time but picks it up, finds Niamh O'Dea. Niamh O'Dea looks up, solos the ball off her left foot, taking on Sligo's Nicola Brennan. The referee's playing advantage. She lays it off, and Clare now briefly had an opportunity perhaps of a shot on goal through Tara Kelly, but Sligo won it back. Clare won it back and lost it again, and Sligo and Clare, both of them battling very, very well for it. Breaking forward now is Niamh O'Dea. She goes to ground, and the referee had played advantage earlier, so Niamh O'Dea went to ground in the square, so it'll be interesting to see will he give a penalty or will he give a free in, but I think he had played advantage prior to that incident, so it's going to be a free in.
Just going back there and play, Tara Kelly worked really, really hard to win that ball. She fought really, really hard on the ground, and that's testament to Tara's character. She will always work hard, and Niamh was foul going in there yet, so he played advantage and he's brought it back now, and Gráinne Nolan for the free.
Gráinne Nolan on the 14-yard line from the Banner Club in Ennis. Steadies herself and puts that straight over the bar. That's Clare's second point, so Clare leading Sligo by 2 points to no score after 3 minutes in Tuam Stadium. Sligo
were unlucky there, the last attack. They passed the ball really, really well, and they were lucky to hit the post. They're well able to pass the ball and work the ball to hand, so I've no doubt they're going to be a scoring threat up front. Kick out has gone astray. Amy Sexton's got the ball, she's after passing into Chloe
Maloney tries to go down the ball, but that's very, very good defending there from Sligo's Jackie Mulligan. She deflected the ball out over the end line. There was definitely a goal chance there for Clare if that ball had been controlled, but good defending from the Sligo cornerback at the expense of a 45, but definitely a lot better to concede a 45 than possibly an early goal.
Yeah, really good pressure for Amy Sexton there in the kick out.
So the referee, I thought it was a 45, but I'm not sure what happened there, Anne-Marie. He's decided it wasn't.
I think the umpire decided against it.
So the umpire went against the Sligo full back now. Michelle McNamara breaks out, gives it off as far as Aoife Morris-Rowe. Sligo spreading the play to the far side of the field to Jackie Mulligan. Jackie Mulligan under a bit of pressure now, but gets the ball in field. Should be cut out by one of the Clare players, but well won back there by Sligo's Ruth Goodwin. Ruth Goodwin breaking forward. She finds the Sligo number 17, Sinead Regan, started centre forward but back fairly deep. Sligo having a bit of trouble breaking out of defence, but eventually do, and it's a long ball forward. It's going to be picked up back there by nobody really, because it deflects out over the sideline, but it deflected off a Clare player, and it's going to be a line ball for Clare. It's taken fairly quickly now. Clare trying to break out.
It's Roisin Looney on the ball.
Roisin Looney has it, and Gráinne Nolan spreads the ball, but it's cut out, but goes to ground. Niamh O'Dea picks up the break, gets it as far as Quiva Harvey. Quiva Harvey now gets away from Aoife Morris-Rowe. This is good football from Quiva Harvey, breaking forward, lays the ball off as far as Amy Sexton. Amy Sexton trying to get the shot in on goal, lays it off as far as Tara Kelly. Tara Kelly onto Chloe Maloney, and Chloe Maloney puts that straight over the bar. That's her second point. Clare's third. Clare leading by 3 points to no score.
Yeah, that's well worked by Clare. Good score. Just from the Laois and Kildare game, Laois are a point up with 4 minutes gone, so 1 point to no score.
Okay, so that's interesting, and it could be, as we said earlier on, for Clare to have any chance of getting through, they've got to win this game, according to our calculations, by 19 points, but also they have to hope that Laois beat Kildare. So let's see what happens. Chloe Maloney has it again. She's put over 2 points already. She lays the ball off as far as Emer O'Connor. Emer O'Connor has the shot, but it goes just to the right and wide. There was good build-up play by Clare, but the finish just went wide. So the referee, John Devlin, now he's having another word with the Sligo goalkeeper, Rachel Quigley. Rachel Quigley is looking for somebody now to make a run, but the kick out cut out by Amy Sexton. Too many Clare players around. Quiva Harvey has it. Quiva Harvey taking on Aoife Morris Rowe, lays the ball off in towards Niamh O'Dea. Can she turn on her left? She does to Gráinne Nolan, and Gráinne Nolan, Niamh O'Dea, they've linked up so many times in the past for the club and the county, and that's a really nice finish. Clare 1-3, Sligo no score.
Yeah, I know I said it last week and the week before, but Clare are always giving it to the person in the best position. Niamh could have taken a shot there now, but she passed it across to Gráinne. Chloe had passed it before that. Great score, great team score. Kick out has been won by
Nicola Brennan wins it. That's it's a really good kick out, and the longer kick out from Rachel Quigley definitely worked better that time. But Clare have it back. Louise Woods pops it forward as far as Chloe Maloney. Chloe Maloney in towards Amy Sexton. Can Amy Sexton hold on to it? She does. Lays it off as far as Gráinne Nolan again. And Gráinne Nolan's left-footed shot goes just wide.
Just looking at now, Laois are gone to 3 points to no score lead against Kildare. Very interesting start. So hopefully Laois can keep going.
So it's certainly will be very, very interesting to keep an eye on what happens there. Clare leading here in June by 1-3 to Sligo's no score. Rachel Quigley with the kick out again. Sligo struggling to hold on to it, but Jackie Mulligan, who started very well in the left cornerback position, does hold on to it and gets it off as far as Louise Lindsay. Louise Lindsay gets the ball up the field towards her wing forward, Aisling Malloy. Aisling Malloy does extremely well to win that ball in towards the Sligo corner forward, Leah Kelly. Good football from Leah Kelly out in front. Leah Kelly lays it off as far as Sinead Regan. Sinead Regan spreads the play to the far side of the field in towards the full forward, Lauren Bowles. Lauren Bowles tries to beat the ball before it gets to the end line. She does that extremely well. Finds her centre back, Clare Dunn. Clare Dunn through in towards the wing forward, the number 10, who is fouled by Michaela Glenn, and that's definitely a free in, but it seemed as if I hadn't spotted that the referee might have been playing advantage prior to that, because if he hadn't, that would have been a penalty.
It would have been a penalty. Yeah, he think he pulled back for a pull on the jersey there, so
that was
let off for Clare.
Yeah, that was Elise Codd was in on goal, so the free anyway, which had been awarded earlier by the referee, is going to be taken by Rachel O'Brien. Rachel O'Brien taps that free over the bar, lands on the net. Doesn't matter as long as it goes over the bar, which it did, and that's Sligo's first point from the free from Rachel O'Brien. Clare leading by 1-3 to 1 point. The free or the kick out is taken very, very quickly by Michaela Glenn, and Clare have it now on the far side of the field, and they're good and patient in possession, get it out as far as Quiva Harvey. Quiva Harvey soling the ball, still behind her own 45, spreads the play to the far side of the field to Tara Kelly. Tara Kelly lays it off as far as Niamh O'Dea in a roving role at centre forward. Lovely ball forward from Niamh O'Dea in towards the corner into Amy Sexton, but the ball bounces over Amy Sexton's head, and it's well won back by Nicola Brennan. The midfielder working back, defending well, linking up with Aoife Morris Rowe. Sligo spreading the ball in field. Jackie Mulligan has it. Does well to hold on to it under pressure. Finds Ruth Goodwin. Ruth Goodwin breaking forward, needs somebody to come in behind her, and she finds Jackie Mulligan. This is good from Sligo. A bit lucky maybe to avoid being caught for over carrying, but being very patient on the ball, and it's good to see from a Sligo perspective. Sligo have it again now. Louise Lindsay from Owen Rua has it under a bit of pressure, but gets it forward. Good hands there from the full forward, Lauren Bowles, well out from the full forward line. The referee playing advantage. Lauren Bowles taking on Emer Keane, and the referee eventually brings the play back, and the free is taken quickly, but too quickly for the referee's liking, and he's just going to make a note in the book, a tick. I think it's against Emer Keane from Milton, and that was good sustained possession play from Sligo.
Yeah, Clare were putting a lot of pressure on them, but Sligo were patient on the ball, worked it really well, and won their free. His call back here now, I think there's a little bit of off the ball.
Yeah, the referee John Devlin spotted something there, so he's having a word
with Quiva Harvey.
No,
sorry, Orla Devitt.
In fact, it's Clare number 6, Orla Devitt. He said referees have had the odd word now and again with Cueva, but not this time.
No, yeah, they look very like herself and Orla on the field.
So the free's taken by the Sligo corner forwards. Rachel O'Brien, but that's good goalkeeping from Michaela Glenn, and Clare now working the ball out, and on the far side of the field Emer Keane has it, lays it off as far as Orla Devitt. Eva Keane takes the return, gets it off as far as Cueva Harvey under pressure from Sligo and is fouled by Aisling Malloy, and the free is going to be taken eventually when Cueva Harvey gets up.
Looking now, Laois have gone to 4-point lead, so it's Laois 4 points, Kildare no score after 10 minutes.
So that's the situation at Dr. Cullen Park in Carlow. Here in Tuam Stadium in Galway, Clare leading by 5 points. Clare 1-3, Sligo 1 point, and it's not bad conditions for football at the moment now. The rain has stopped.
Yeah, it's dried
still
off.
a bit cool, but there's absolutely no breeze on Marie as well, and that's always good.
Yeah, it's very calm, especially for November. If the rain could stay off now for the hour, it would be great, and it'll help the conditions for both teams. Orla Dev is about to take the free now for Clare.
Cueva Harvey thankfully gets up, she's okay, and Orla Devitt looks for somebody to make a run, and she finds Roisin Looney. Roisin Looney wins that well now, holds on to it well under pressure. Three solos, excellent football from Roisin Looney, lays it off as far as Tara Kelly. Tara Kelly bounces the ball, lays it off, referee says no problem with that, finds Niamh Dean, finds Grania Nolan's ball in towards Amy Sexton. Amy Sexton does very well there to win that ball, lays it off as far as Chloe Maloney. Chloe Maloney tries to maybe turn back onto her left, pops the ball off as far as Louise Woods. Louise Woods breaks forward, Amy Sexton in on goal, and that's a really lovely finish. Amy Sexton showed in the county intermediate final her ability to score goals. That's a really clever finish, low into the corner, impossible for the goalkeeper Rachel Quigley to do anything about that. Yeah,
very difficult for the goalie. Great score by Amy, again well worked by Clare, patient in the build up, found their player, and kick out has been won by Aoife Morris. Aoife
Morris-Rowe has it now, lays it off as far as Jackie Mulligan off her left, goes to ground, fouled by Niamh O'Dea, and free is going to be taken by the cornerback. Aoife Morris-Rowe again gets it forward as far as the centre back Clare Dunn pops it into the middle. This is good football from Sligo as far as Sinead Regan starts centre forward, but is playing quite a deep role, getting on the ball a lot, up towards Lauren Bowles. Lauren Bowles solos the ball, lays it off as far as the corner forward. Nice interchange there between the corner forward and Clare Dunn, the number 6. Lauren Bowles has now pops it in front of her teammate, back as far as number 17, Sinead Regan. Sinead Regan is being defended well, gets it back as far as the corner forward, Leah Kelly. That drifts wide, good build-up play, but unfortunately the finish wasn't there that time from Sligo.
Just looking at the Laois and Kildare game again, Laois have gone 5 points to no score ahead after 13 minutes.
So that's the situation in Carlow. We're not too far away here in June from the first half water break. We've had almost 14 minutes of the first half. Clare leading by 2-3 to Sligo's 1 point. Clare now under a bit of pressure at the back. Ellie O'Gorman gets it back as far as her clubmate Michaela Glenn, excellent ball, kick ball, finds Cueva Harvey on the far side of the field. Referee paid advantage. Good refereeing from John Devlin, but eventually Cueva Harvey couldn't get away from the tackle. The referee is having a word with one of the Sligo players. I'm not sure is he going to reach for a card here. I didn't think it was that serious, unless the Sligo player said something, but maybe he's just making a tick on the Sligo corner forward. So yeah, he's just told Rachel O'Brien there that he's ticking her, and I suppose to keep an eye on her tackling as the game evolves. But not a great free, really well cut out by Clare Dunn, who's been on a lot of ball for Sligo at centre back. Clare Dunn popped the ball off as far as Aisling Malloy, but Aisling Malloy lost the ball. Tara Kelly won it back. Lovely ball forward from Niamh O'Dea, early ball in front of Amy Sexton. She started so well for Clare inside the corner, lays it off as far as Emer Keane, and coming up from wing back Anne-Marie. That's an ideal scenario as the referee. I think it's just 15 minutes, so he's called for the water break, but that was a great point.
That was an excellent score, great vision by Niamh O'Dea to find Amy Sexton, who was out in front of her player, popped it off to Emer Keane, great score off her left.
Yeah, Niamh O'Dea is, we know how dangerous she is inside, but I think she brings an awful lot to the team outside because she's a playmaker as well as a finisher.
Yeah, she sets up a lot of play. She's lovely footwork, excellent vision, all round team player. She tracks back like she did last week. She went back to the full back line to win a ball. She'll work really, really hard as she did yesterday in the Camogie.
we've seen a lot of good football from Sligo, and Marie, but sometimes maybe the last pass or the finish isn't there. Some good defending from Clare, but Sligo just up to the point where maybe they should be shooting or creating an opportunity to shoot, are doing very well. It's just a bit of a lack in that respect in the first 15 minutes.
It was similar last week. They were able to work the ball up to a point, and then they'd get dispossessed or they'd kick it wide. I just think they need to settle on their kicks. They're well able to work the ball. They have lovely team play, and I think if they settle, they will get a few more scores on the board. As I said, I know goals win matches, but it's still all to play for.
2-4 to 1 point in favour of Clare at the first half water break here in Tuam Stadium. Conditions are cold. The very heavy rain of earlier on has ceased, thankfully, so it certainly makes it a lot easier to play football. And you've got another update, Anne-Marie.
Yeah, it's a water break in Carlow, and it's Laois 5 points, Kildare 1 point, so Kildare registered their first goal or first point in that game.
So it's going to be interesting to see what happens there. We'll keep a very close eye on that. But our priority here in Tuam is what's happening in front of us, and the Sligo now joining Clare for the second quarter, so to speak, of the first half, and it's a 9 point gap between the teams. Clare leading by 2-4 to Sligo's 1 point, and the goals really well put away by 2 of the 3 Clare inside forwards, Gráinne Nolan at full forward, and Amy Sexton put away the second goal. Lovely low finish. The referee blows his whistle, so Rachel Quigley, the Sligo goalkeeper, is going to take this kick out. Spreads it to the far side of the field, where it's very well run by Sinead Naughton. Excellent football from Sinead Naughton, the Sligo wing back wearing number 18, pops it inside as far as Sinead Regan now solos the ball. She's got a bit of a bandage on her right foot, but her hand pass was telegraphed a bit, and it was cut out with a hand pass to Aisling Malloy. That was good football from Clare, but the ball forward spills along the greasy surface. Clare Dunn has it now, coming out from centre back, lays it off as far as Sinead Regan doing well, hops the ball. Not a great day for hopping the ball, but she hopped it very effectively that time because it came right up. She pops it off as far as Lauren Bowles, to full forward from St Michael's. She's on her own 45 at this stage now. The ball forward, however, is overhit, and Michaela Glynn did well, lays off as far as Ellie O'Gorman, who in turn finds Emer O'Connor. Emer O'Connor gets the ball forward as far as Louise Woods. Pops off to the runner to Quiva Harvey. Quiva Harvey does well to go down the ball. Can she get it up as far as Gráinne Nolan? She can. Gráinne Nolan gets it the second time. The run inside from Chloe Maloney is spotted by Gráinne Nolan. That's a really good run. Chloe Maloney picks it up, pops it off as far as the runner again, Gráinne Nolan in on goal. That's in the back of the net, and that was really well worked from all the way from Michaela Glynn, Ellie O'Gorman, Emer O'Connor, and the finish was really lethal.
Yeah, passes were absolutely perfect. Again, vision, looking up the whole time, finding person in a better position, and kick out has been won by Quiva Harvey, who passes it into Chloe. Chloe's on the ball.
Hoping to go down the ball. Chloe Maloney does go down, turns back onto her left foot. Is she going to try and pop it over the bar? Lays it off as far as Tara Kelly. Tara Kelly has the opportunity of putting that over the bar and does exactly that, and extends Clare's lead. Clare now leading Sligo by 3-5 to Sligo's 1 point. I hope your maths are fairly good, Anne-Marie, because mine are a bit dodgy. So we're as the game evolves, and depending what happens up in Carlow, we're going to have to keep an eye on that side of things. Clare have it back again now. Gráinne Nolan lays it off as far as Chloe Maloney in on goal. Can she get the shot in? Lays it back as far as
Amy Sexton,
who puts away her second goal. Lovely calm finish from Amy Sexton, and she really has been exceptional for Clare, who now leads Sligo 4-5 to 1 point after 18 minutes.
Yeah, so going back to Carlow again, Laois are 6 points and Kildare are 1 point, so they have a 5 point lead at the moment. So again, this will be a very important result for Clare. As I said, if Clare can win by 19 here, Roisin Looney's on the ball. She's looking for support off her shoulder. She gets it from Tara Kelly.
Tara Kelly, can she get the shot off again? Gives it back as far as Quiva Harvey. Quiva Harvey lays it off as far as Chloe Maloney. Chloe Maloney gives it to Amy Sexton. 1-2 between the two Kilmurray players. Good football back to Nivo D, but excellent defending there from Aoife Morris-Rowe at cornerback. And you'd have to say that the Sligo defence are under absolutely massive pressure, but are, I suppose, doing their best under very trying circumstances. The Sligo number 8 now, Nicola Brennan, the captain, won that back break, gets it forward as far as Lauren Bowles. Lauren Bowles spreads the play to the far side of the field to Louise Lindsay. Louise Lindsay taking on Emer Keane. Good football there from Louise Lindsay until, as Anne-Marie said, she took too many steps, and it's going to be a free out for Clare, but that was good defending again from Emer Keane.
Really good defending. Laois now 7 points, Kildare 1 point, so Laois are tagging on the points there. There was a great score from the halfback Williams.
Far side of the field now, Clare have it again. Carla Leary from Newmarket on the ball, gets as far as Caoimhe Harvey. Caoimhe Harvey's pass, not the best pass she's hit in her time. Sligo have it back now. Eilís Codd on the far side of the field. Eilís Codd puts the ball in field, but a Sligo player is fouled, hand on the shoulder, and the free is going to be taken, I think, by Eilís Codd, and in fact it's going to be taken by Ruth Goodwin. Ruth Goodwin gets the ball back as far as Nicola Brennan. Nicola Brennan now looks upfield, looks for a bit of movement inside from somebody a bit closer to goal than she is, and Nicola Brennan eventually fouled, and Nicola Brennan is going to take this free. The referee's making a note in his book, maybe probably taking one of the Clare players. Eventually this free is going to be taken now by Nicola Brennan. She gives it to her midfield partner Louise Lindsay. Louise Lindsay now solos the ball, direct ball inside in towards the full forward line. Really well caught inside by the Sligo number 10, Eilís Codd, but that was a great block down, and the shot eventually drifts just to the left and wide. And
super block by Emer O'Connor there.
Yeah, Emer O'Connor has done a lot of really good defensive work.
Yeah, she was similar the last day and the very first day. She works really hard. The referee's just going in to speak to the linesman there. It might have been something off the ball that we missed. He's having a look around. He's trying to find the culprit, I think.
Yeah, the referee scanning the field, so I'm not sure who he's got his eye on, but he's definitely got his eye on someone, I think. But let's see, is he going to take any action or not? He's pointing at somebody.
Yeah, he's coming to speak to Orla Devitt again.
So he's going to have a word with Orla Devitt from Éire Óg. We didn't see what happened. He's reaching for his card.
Yeah, he is.
Not a great sign. Although a Sligo player has come in there as well, Lauren Bowles, so maybe he's just going to have a word with Lauren Bowles and Orla Devitt, and let's just see what happens.
Just going back to Carlow again, it's Laois 1-7, Kildare 1 point, a goal from Tara Turpie after a good build up from Laois. So surprise so far there as we reach the 16-minute mark.
It certainly is. There's no point in saying otherwise, but that Kildare would have been very warm favourites now.
Yeah, they would.
We know it's still not half time and all that, but certainly a 9-point lead at the moment for Laois up in Dr. Cullen Park in Carlow. Here in June, Clare leading Sligo by 4-5 to 1 point, and might have an opportunity now to add to that. Niamh O'Dea is beaten that time by Aoife Morris-Rowe, who's been defending valiantly inside in the full back line for Sligo. She's got it back again. She's under pressure from Tara Kelly. Ball goes to ground. That was good pressure from Tara Kelly, but the referee saw a foul. But good defending high up the field from Clare. And no matter what team anybody is involved in, if you see the forwards putting the pressure on high up the field, it makes it very easy to defend. And Louise Woods cut out that attempted free really well. Niamh O'Dea has now taking on Sligo, 3 or 4 Sligo players. Nice nifty layoff to Caoimhe Harvey. Caoimhe Harvey gets it back as far as Gráinne Nolan. Gráinne Nolan spreads the play to Tara Kelly. Tara Kelly lays it off.
Róisín,
in fact, it was Róisín Looney laid it off, but she tried to find Tara Kelly, but it went astray. Sligo have it back now through their number 17, Sinead Regan. Sinead Regan lays the ball off. Good football from Sligo. Centre back Clare Dunn raiding up the right hand touchline, but excellent football again from Emer O'Connor, whose work rate has been exceptional. Emer O'Connor now looks up and finds Gráinne Nolan loose. That was a great run. Emer Keane making a run off the shoulder of Gráinne Nolan, takes the pop, lays it off as far as Niamh O'Dea. Niamh O'Dea has it again now, taking on this Sligo's Nicola Brennan. Niamh O'Dea in on goal. She finds Stoy Maloney. 1-2. Niamh O'Dea has it again. Back at the net. That's Clare's fifth goal, Clare leading Sligo by 5-5 to a point. And I said earlier on that that's not my strongest point, but that is a 19-point lead.
It is, yeah. It is, yeah.
Isn't it?
It is 19 points run, yeah. Very well worked. 20 points to 1, so 19-point lead. Clare putting pressure on the kick out here again. Chloe's putting good pressure on the backs. She's after finding her Louise Lindsay. Louise Lindsay is on the ball now.
Sligo did well that time to emerge with the ball. Louise Lindsay now with great determination soloing up the field, but her hand pass was just a bit off the mark, and that was well cut out by Emer Keane, who's having a superb game at left half back. Got it forward as far as Amy Sexton. Gráinne Nolan has it now. Gráinne Nolan goes to ground. The referee saw a foul there from Gráinne Nolan. I thought that was a bit unlucky, but in fairness, the referee was closer. Eva Morris-Rowe takes it quickly and takes the return pass and solos the ball up the field under a bit of pressure from Chloe Maloney, and Amy Sexton now putting the pressure on as well, putting the pressure on Jackie Mulligan. Jackie Mulligan is fouled, and she's looking for somebody to make a run, and she definitely needs a couple of the Sligo forwards, maybe the half forwards, or even somebody inside the full forward line to start making a few more runs and give the options for the Sligo midfielders, the Sligo halfbacks, to find somebody high up the field and to build a few more attacks. They're doing exactly that now on the far side of the field. The ball popped inside as far as Sligo's Sinead Naughton, but the ball spills and it's picked up by Carla Leary. Carla Leary lays it off as far as Orla Devitt. Orla Devitt, excellent football from Orla Devitt, and Clare breaking out now. Amy Sexton pops the ball off. Great run from Tara Kelly off the shoulder, lays it off as far as Quiva Harvey. Quiva Harvey has it under pressure from the Sligo centre back Clare Dunn. Clare do well that time to hold on to it, but they've had to go back beyond the Sligo 45 and try to build again. The ball cross field, not the greatest ball, well cut out, really well cut out by Sligo, and now there's a bit of space high up the field. Perhaps for Sligo's Leah Kelly, if she can go down on this ball, but she's under a lot of pressure from Siofra Nicunnell. Siofra Nicunnell trying to hold up the Sligo corner forward. Did that up to a point, but eventually Sligo's Elise Codd has it, and Elise Codd now taking on Ellie O'Gorman. Pops it back as far as Leah Kelly. Leah Kelly's shot, that's a decent effort at a shot. The umpires look at each other, eventually agree that was over the bar, and that's Sligo's second point. It was a good point. The kick out taken quickly. Carla Leary under pressure, the ball skidded along the ground. Aisling Malloy picks it up, lays it off as far as Rachel O'Brien. Rachel O'Brien looking for somebody to make a run off her shoulder. She finds Lauren Bowles. Sligo now going through a good patch, but eventually it's broken up by Emer Keane, and Clare break out, and that was a good minute or two there from Sligo.
Yeah, that was a great score from the right hand side of the post there. Great score from Sligo. They're well able to work the ball when they get it in there. They just need that last pass. They just need to settle on. Niamh O'Dee's on the ball now, and she's looking for help, and she's after finding Tara Kelly off the shoulder. Tara Kelly's going to be looking for someone as well.
Niamh O'Dea did really well that time to hold on to that ball under enormous pressure from Clare Dunn. She has it back again now, having received it from Tara Kelly. Looks for somebody inside, picks out Gráinne Nolan. Gráinne Nolan does really well to hold on to the ball. The referee has got his hand up, he's playing advantage. Eventually he decides there wasn't enough of an advantage, so it's going to be a free-in for Clare, about 37-38 yards out.
Just the latest update from Carlow. It's Laois 1-7, Kildare 2 points, so Kildare are after getting on the scoreboard again.
27 minutes gone in the first half here in June. Clare leading by 5-5 to Sligo's 2 points, and this free is going to be taken now by Clare full forward Gráinne Nolan. Gráinne Nolan about roughly 30 yards out, I suppose, dead straight in front of goal. On a normal day she would expect to put this over. Conditions heavy here in June, but Gráinne Nolan strikes that superbly, absolutely no doubt about it. That's Clare's 6th point to add to their 5 goals. Clare 5-6, Sligo 2 points as we approach the 28th minute of the first half. The kick out, really good kick out in fairness from the Sligo goalkeeper Rachel Quigley, and she picks out Louise Lindsay on the far side of the field. She pops it in field as far as Ruth Goodwin, but Clare win the ball back. Sligo give it away. Chloe Maloney has it, pops it forward as far as Gráinne Nolan. Lovely return, great run from Quiva Harvey. Quiva Harvey in on goal, shot off the crossbar over Clare's 6 point. Clare leading by 5-6 to Sligo's 2 points.
What a pass by Gráinne Nolan, had her back turned, flicked it over, saw the run from Caoimhe Harvey. Excellent score, great vision by Gráinne Nolan.
I think we'd call that a really good spatial awareness. She wasn't looking but knew exactly what was happening behind her. The kick out from Rachel Quigley, tries to find her centre back Clare Dunn lays it off as her as Nicola Brennan lays the ball inside, and Sligo now trying to come out with it. Aoife Morris-Rowe has it, pops it back as far as Nicola Brennan infield as far as Jackie Mulligan laid the ball off to Ruth Goodwin. Mulligan back involved again now, and now Sligo's Sinead Regan has it. Sinead Regan switches the play to the far side of the field where Elise Codd is trying to get out in front of Ellie O'Gorman. Elise Codd has the ball. Good football from Elise Codd, taking on the Clare fullback, pops it back as far as Aisling Malloy. Aisling Malloy spreads the play to the far side of the field where the full forward Lauren Bowles has it, but she's surrounded. Sligo have an opportunity now perhaps to get a shot in on goal. Under doing well to hold on to the ball under pressure. Sinead Regan has it. 2 or 3 Clare players around. There's a good tackle there from Clare's Orla Devon. And now there's a load of space in front of Clare, but it won't matter because the referee John Devlin has called for half time, and the half time score here in Tune, Clare leading Sligo by 5 goals and 6 points to Sligo's 2 points.
And looking at Carlow, it's currently Laois 1-8, Kildare 2 points, so Laois with another point on the board courtesy of Anna Healy.
So that's the situation in Carlow. And Marie, just before we're going to look at some of the highlights of the first half in a minute, but just before we do, from Clare's point of view, first of all, they'll be very happy with that first half, and I suppose they'll just be looking for more of the same in the second. Yeah,
really well worked play from the team throughout. They are the 19 points up currently. I know that means nothing because there's another half to go, but I'm sure that James would be happy with their first half performance. They're working hard. A few passes alright have gone astray, so no doubt he'll chat to them about that, but overall they've done well. Sligo will hopefully get a few more scores on the board as the game goes on. Again, they just need to settle on their last pass, but they're trying really hard, and their work rate is 100%.
And just finally, Anne-Marie, for the moment, looking at a couple of players that have come in, a couple of players that have played well. I think Sligo's Aoife Morris-Rowe at cornerback, Jackie Mulligan. I mean, the full back line are under absolutely massive pressure, but they're doing everything they can. And Rachel Quigley in goals as well, looking for options and a kick out. And I mean, she's not going to be able to find players unless they make the run.
Yeah, Ruth Goodwin at number 20 has won a lot of ball, and she's carrying a lot of ball up. Also, Lauren Bowles is kind of coming deep. She's not really playing a full forward. She's coming deep, looking for ball, and she's passing it in to Rachel O'Brien and Leah Kelly. But I think they will get a few more scores on the board if they settle.
Thanks indeed to Anne-Marie for that. For the moment, we're going to have a chat in a couple of minutes with Kiva Curry again, and also with the Sligo PRO and Conan. But in the meantime, we're going to look at some highlights of the first half. Gets it in, takes the return pass, Caoimhe Harvey lays it off as far as Amy Sexton. Amy Sexton gets the ball into Chloe Maloney, and Chloe Maloney off her left foot after a line from the Banner Club in Ennis, steadies herself and puts that straight over the bar. That's Clare's second point, so Clare leading the ball off as far as Amy Sexton. Amy Sexton trying to get the shot in on goal, lays it off as far as Tara Kelly. Tara Kelly onto Chloe Maloney, and Chloe Maloney, Caoimhe Harvey taking on Aoife Morris-Rowe, lays the ball off in towards Niamh D. Can she turn on her left? She does to Gráinne Nolan, and Gráinne Nolan, Niamh D. The free anyway, which had been awarded earlier by the referee, is going to be taken by Rachel O'Brien. Rachel O'Brien taps that free over the bar, lands on the net. Doesn't matter as long as it goes over to maybe turn back onto her left. Pops the ball off as far as Louise Woods. Louise Woods breaks forward. Amy Sexton in on goal, and that's a really lovely finish. Amy Sexton ball in front of Amy Sexton. She started so well for Clare inside the corner, lays it off as far as Emer Keane, and coming up from wing back, Anne-Marie, spotted by Gráinne Nolan. That's a really good run. Chloe Maloney picks it up, pops it off as far as the runner again, Gráinne Nolan in on goal. That's in the back of the net, and that was, is she going to try and pop it over the bar? Lays it off as far as Tara Kelly. Tara Kelly has the opportunity of putting that over the bar and does exactly that, and extends Clare's lead. Clare now lead. Other things, Clare have it back again now. Gráinne Nolan lays it off as far as Chloe Maloney in on goal. Can she get the shot in? Lays it back as far as
Amy Sexton,
Amy
great
has it again now, taking on this Sligo's Nicola Brennan. Nivo D in on goal. She finds Chloe Maloney. 1-2. Nivo D has it again. Back at the net. That's Clare's fifth. On Ellie O'Gorman. Pops it back as far as Leah Kelly. Leah Kelly's shot. That's a decent effort at a shot. The umpires look at each other, eventually agreed. On a normal day, she would expect to put this over. Conditions heavy here in Tuam, but Gráinne Nolan strikes that superbly. Absolutely no doubt about it. That's Clare's Gráinne Nolan. Lovely return, great run from Caoimhe Harvey. Caoimhe Harvey in on goal, shot off the crossbar over Clare's 6 point. Clare leading by. And you're back again live here at Tuam Stadium at half time. Clare leading by 5-7 to Sligo's 2 points. There was just before half time there was a small bit of confusion over the 7th point, but it's definitely 5-7 to Sligo's 2 points. And as we said earlier on as well, up in Dr. Cullen Park, Leisure leading Kildare, joined again by Caoimhe Curry. Caoimhe, Clare must be extremely happy with that first half.
Yeah, they're absolutely flying it, and you see Amy Sexton inside there, she's flying it at her first game, and yeah, it's great now, and they just need to push on for the second half. And
we're keeping as much of an eye on what's happening in Carlow as we are what's happening here, and quite a surprise happening in Carlow.
It is a surprise, yeah. Leisure ahead, but we can only focus on our own game, and hopefully it works in our favour now, but yeah, we'll just have to focus on what we can do and rack the scores up.
And I was just talking to Micheál Talty there a couple of seconds ago. Caoimhe, Clare need to win by 19 points to have a chance, but also it gets more complicated then in that if Laois win, which is unexpected, if Laois win, that they need to win by more than what Laois win by as well.
Yes, yeah, it's definitely confusing. Yeah, so hopefully if Laois win, it's a narrow scoreline, but yeah, the girls just need to keep scoring now and do the best they can.
And Caoimhe, some of the attacking play, as you said, from the likes of Amy Sexton, has her finishing is so good. She gets in on goal and doesn't blast it, just kind of seems to roll it into the net, into the corner.
It's brilliant. Yeah, no, it's great to see, and the forwards are working really well together, and there's been some lovely plays there. So yeah, they just need to keep it up. And
just finally, Caoimhe, what's been impressive as well is the way in which the Clare forwards have defended.
Yes, absolutely. The turnovers there are unreal, and like you saw that there was scores from the turnovers, so that just they need to keep that up now, definitely, and drive on.
Thanks indeed to Caoimhe Curry for joining us. We're going to speak now to the Sligo PRO and Conan, and as both teams take to the field, I suppose Sligo will just be looking to maybe build a few more scoring opportunities here and get a few more scores on the board.
Absolutely, they've been trying hard for a goal there, and it just hasn't the opportunity. They hit the crossbar and missed a few opportunities. So, with much more cohesive effort from Sligo today, and unfortunately the scoreboard doesn't reflect that yet. But give them another couple of minutes, and hopefully they will by the end of the.
And just finally, Anne, we've mentioned conditions a few times, and conditions have varied from the rain hammering down. It's very cold as well. It's tough, and you'd have to admire every player out here that's playing this afternoon.
Oh, absolutely. They've got to be admired for their determination and their effort. And as I say, Clare are on fire today, but I would say a much more impressive effort from Sligo today.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks indeed to Anne-Marie for that. Thanks indeed to Anne Conan for that, and we're getting ready now for the second half. The referee ready to go. The two teams lined up in the middle of the field, and again a reminder of the half-time score. Clare leading by 5-7 to Sligo's 2 points. That's the situation at the moment as the referee John Devlin throws the ball in, and Clare have it now immediately in the middle of the field through Louise Woods. Louise Woods making a great run forward, finds her clubmate Nivo D. Nivo D wearing number 13, has it now trying to get on her left foot, gets it back to her as Tara Kelly. Clare spreading the play out to the far side of the field where Caoimhe Harvey has it, and real energy about Clare to start this second half. Gráinne Nolan has it now inside in the full forward line, but spreads the play back as far as Clare have made a change at half time, and they've brought on Anya Keane into the half back line. So real zip and energy about Clare at the start of the second half. I think they sense that there's an opportunity here. The ball goes off the crossbar from the shot from Nivo D, and Sligo do well now to break out and try and build it up a bit from the back. There's a lot of space in front of them if they can break through a couple of tackles. Their full back is breaking out, Michelle McNamara lays it off as far as Ruth Goodwin, and the ball infield where that's excellent reading of the play inside from Ellie O'Gorman at full back. Read that very, very well, and played a 1-2 with Gráinne Nolan, who's not noted for being that far back the field, but she is this time, and she's now taking on the Sligo number 10 Elise Codd, and Roisin Looney has now spreading the play to the far side of the field. Sligo trying to put on a bit of pressure. Emer O'Connor has it, lays it off as far as a runner. Her clubmate Tara Kelly bounces the ball, turns back, switches the play to the far side, under pressure on the far side of the field, but does well. Emer Keane holds onto the ball, finds Louise Wood, excellent ball forward, but good defending inside from Aoife Morris-Rowe. Amy Sexton, however, goes down the ball under pressure from two Sligo players, including Louise Lindsay as well as Aoife Morris-Rowe. Did really well that time to hold on to it and get the ball back as far as Emer Keane. Emer Keane solos the ball, lays it off as far as Amy Sexton again, but Amy Sexton spills the ball, and Sligo now breaking out through Leah Kelly and switching the ball to Ruth Goodwin. Ruth Goodwin breaking forward, left footed, switches the play as far as Clare Dunn, the Sligo number 6, pops the ball infield as far as Ruth Goodwin. Ruth Goodwin lays it off, lovely ball as far as Leah Kelly, ball infield where it's exceptionally well cut out inside by Ellie O'Gorman, and Clare haven't had a huge amount of defending to do, Marie, but Ellie O'Gorman's reading of the play inside the full back line is really excellent.
Yeah, it's excellent. She's very steady on her feet as well, and she's well able to pick out the correct pass. She always gives the correct pass. You mentioned there was a substitute there at half time. Anya Keane has entered the fray for Orla Devitt. I know the referee had spoken to Orla on 2 occasions in the first half. I think she was on a double tick. She still played really well, though. She was working very well from the half back line, but I know that Anya was playing the last day, and she made tireless runs. Chloe's on the ball now, and she's looking for support, and she's found it with Gráinne Nolan. Gráinne is looking up, she's looking for a ball coming across. Emer O'Connor's free if she can find her. There's a race for the ball here now. It looks like Emer was fouled, but advantage has been played.
Emer O'Connor, you'd have to admire her defending high up the field, but that was definitely a free out for Sligo, and Sligo now taking their time to come out. Eventually they get out, and Louise Lindsay has it, wins it well, pops it back as far as Sinead Regan. Sinead Regan lays the ball off. Lindsay has it again, having received a pass from Nicola Brennan. Good ball forward. It's going to cause a bit of trouble for the Clare full back line, but yet again Ellie O'Gorman does exceptionally well inside, and she lays the ball off as far as Siobhan Cunnell infield as far as Roisin Looney, and Anya Keane has now spreads the play to the far side of the field, finds her twin sister Emer, who lays it off as far as Gráinne Nolan, who's going very, very deep. Gráinne Nolan up towards Nivo D under a bit of pressure, but does well to hold on to it. Referee plays advantage, and he's going to call it back. That's going to be a free in about roughly 35-36 yards out for Clare. Yeah,
good work again from Clare, putting pressure on the Sligo half back line. Just going back to Carol again, it's currently Laois 1-8, Kildare 3 points with the second half just underway.
So the free now is going to be taken for that foul on Nivo D. It's going to be taken eventually by Gráinne Nolan. She's been in excellent free taking form, and unfortunately for Sligo, the referee John Devlin has issued a yellow card, and it's going to see, I think it might be Aoife Morris-Rowe, I'm not 100% sure, but we'll check and clarify that. But that's certainly, it is indeed the Sligo cornerback Aoife Morris-Rowe has got a yellow card, and the free taken by Gráinne Nolan. Gráinne Nolan puts that over the bar, and Clare extend their lead to 5-8 to 2 points. And I didn't see what Aoife Morris-Rowe did there, as Clare make a substitution. They're bringing on Fidelma Marnan from West Clare Gales, but nobody's come off yet, so she's going to have to come back off the field until the next break and play. In the meantime, Louise Lindsay has it in the far side of the field, gets it forward as far as Aisling Malloy. Spills the ball but wins it back at the second attempt, looks upfield and finds Lindsay again. That's good football from Sligo, nice ball forward up towards Leah Kelly. Leah Kelly up against Chiefrin O'Connell, but Chiefrin O'Connell did very well that time to win the ball back and got us back as far as Roisin Looney. Roisin Looney spills the ball but picks it up, lays it off, and Tara Kelly has now breaking forward. Tara Kelly tries to find Amy Sexton. Amy Sexton under pressure and fouled by Clare Dunn, and we're going to see a couple of substitutions here. Philip Marnin is coming in for Clare, and also Jade Lyons from Shamrock Gales is coming in for Sligo. So we'll just see who's going to make way here.
It looks like Tara Kelly. Super work rate from Tara for the 40 minutes there. Did absolutely brilliant. Worked really hard. Dispossessed on I think 6 or 7 occasions. So great game from Tara.
Yeah, Tara Kelly taken off, and Philip Marnin goes on, and Sligo also making a change as well. They've taken off their corner forwards. They've taken off Rachel O'Brien, wearing number 15, and as I said, she's been replaced by Jade Lyons. A quick look at the clock again. We've had 7 minutes of the second half, and Clare leading by 5-8 to 2 points. Clare have it now out the field, but that shot attempted pass from Gráinne Nolan really well blocked down, and Sligo trying to build it. They're in possession now. Sinead Naughton spreads it in field as far as Ruth Goodwin. Ruth Goodwin lays it off as far as Sinead Regan, and she finds midfielder Nicola Brennan. Short hand pass back to Goodwin again. Goodwin's shot is half blocked down by Louise Woods, and it did enough for Clare to win it back. Quiva Harvey lays it off, gives it as far as Chloe Maloney. Chloe Maloney finds Gráinne Nolan. Quiva Harvey's making a run. Can she be found with the pop? She can. She's in on goal, in towards Niamh O'Dea. Niamh O'Dea turns on her left foot, puts that over the bar, and that really is exceptionally good football from Clare.
Excellent score from Clare, going straight down right through the middle of the defence. Going back to Carlow again, it's Laois won 8, Kildare 3 points. Maybe a crucial moment, but Laois have a girl sent to the sin bin, so it could be a crucial 10 minutes in that game. You'd wonder, will Kildare drive on from that, and with that extra player they might push on and get a notch, a few scores up on the board.
Yeah, certainly everything in that game is pivotal in terms of Clare's future progression in the Intermediate Championship. Remember again that just one team qualifies from the intermediate groups, the 14 groups, so just one team gets out, and whoever tops the group gets into the All-Ireland semi-final. Up until today, Kildare had won both games. They'd beaten Clare by 2 points in their opening game, and they had also beaten Sligo comprehensively in game 2, so it would have been quite warm favourites to win. So we'll be keeping a very close eye on that.
Yeah, and it's very interesting. Kildare had notched up I think 7 or 8 goals in the last 2 games, and it's current they've been held. They've only got 3 points so far, so I'd say the Laois backs are working really hard, and I'd imagine they have a player or two back crowding it out and putting pressure on the Kildare defence, because they have an excellent, or the Kildare full forward line, because they have an excellent line there.
Sligo now takes a free. The free is taken by Sinead Regan, and they go backfield. They have possession again now in the form of Sinead Naughton. Sinead Naughton bursting forward, solos the ball. Does well to hold on to it, bounces or whoever, and the ball spills. But luckily for Sligo, it spills as far as Sinead Regan. Sinead Regan takes to 1-2. Really, I have to say, really good. Heart being stolen by Sligo. Lovely ball forward from Lauren Bowles in as far as their wing forward Elise Codd, but Clare eventually cut out the pass. The next pass went astray. Michaela Glenn has it inside now. Michaela Glenn pops it back as far as Elia Gorman. Elia Gorman finds Roisin Looney. Roisin Looney finds Emer O'Connor. Quiva Harvey makes a return run, and good battling in the middle of the field there from Sligo's Ruth Goodwin. Did magnificently to win that ball back, and Sligo spread the play in the form of Leah Kelly to the far side of the field, where it's really well won, and the Sligo centre back now, Clare Dunn, makes a good support run, and Louise Lindsay tries to find a diagonal ball, but that's well cut out by Roisin Looney.
Going back to Carlow again, looks like Kildare are capitalising on Laois's 14 players. It's currently Laois 1-9, Kildare 1-3, so a goal for Kildare, so they're right back in this game.
And Clare now, through Niamh O'Dea, referee is playing advantage. Niamh O'Dea in on goal, and eventually shoots into the back of the net. but I think the referee is going to bring it back, because I think Nivodi possibly might have overcarried after the free was awarded. I don't know, maybe she didn't, but it just looked like that from here. So maybe the referee, she was in serious hard luck, but maybe the referee decided just to pull it back. So this free is going to be taken now by Gráinne Nolan on the 14-yard line, and Gráinne Nolan now, who's been in very good form, she hasn't missed a free yet, and unlikely to miss this one, and she doesn't, strokes it over the bar. It's Clare's 10th point, so Clare now leading by 5-10 to Sligo's 2 points.
And just looking at the
23-point lead.
Just looking at the sideline there, Clare warming up Ailish Kinney from Cool Gaels, very good little wing back, well able to mark tight, so it's great to see Ailish getting her game time.
Absolutely. Louise Woods now cuts the ball out, gets it back as far as Emer Keane for Clare. Clare trying to break forward on the far side of the field. Gráinne Nolan has it, looks up, finds Chloe Maloney, lovely ball inside. Chloe Maloney wins it at the second attempt, pops it as far as Nivo D. Feigned as if to shoot, still in possession, won't panic, finds Gráinne Nolan looking around for the best option. Clare decide to play it around a bit, out around the middle towards Emer O'Connor, finds Anya Keane gives it to Gráinne Nolan finds Nivo D again. Nivo D a lot further out from goal on this occasion.
Going back to Carlow again, it's now Laois 1-8, Kildare 1-5, so another point from Kildare, and that came from a bad kick out from the Laois goalkeeper. So they put pressure on it and popped it over the bar, so it's down to a goal in that game, all to play for.
Chloe Maloney has the shot, and
but she looked like she was pushed there after the kick.
Looked as if it might have been a free in, but the referee, I don't think saw it that way, although he's gone in and he did see it that way, so he's given a free from where the ball landed.
She was definitely pushed as she was about to kick the ball, pulled the trigger.
So Gráinne Nolan now is going to take this free, and it's from virtually the same position as where she took the free a couple of minutes ago, the last free that she put over the bar, perhaps a marginally better angle. So this almost definitely will put Clare into a 5-11 to 2 point lead, and Gráinne Nolan does that, puts that straight over the bar, so Clare leading 5-11 to 2 points.
Yeah, so since I spoke on it last, it's now Laois 1-9, Kildare 1-6, so a point for each team, so there's still a goal in it. We have to remember as well there's about 5-6 minutes left, maybe 5 minutes left in the sin bin, so Kildare are capitalising and using that 10 minutes to their advantage. Carla O'Leary's making way here now, she did really well, and Ailish Kinney's in instead.
Ailish Kinney from Cool Gaels replacing Carla O'Leary from the Market and Fergus, and Carla O'Leary really has given mammoth service to Clare Sport both on the camogie fields for Cloven County and also on the football fields for Cloven County as well. She's been a magnificent servant, it has to be said. Clare
kick out won there by Fidel Mamarnan,
won that kick out. Ailish Kinney gets her first touch in Tuam. Roisin Looney has it now, finding Emer O'Connor. Emer O'Connor looks for a run inside, finds Nivo D. The ball spills as far as Quiva Harvey taking on, and Sligo gets it off as far as Chloe Maloney, and eventually Gráinne Nolan. Now Emer Keane has it. Emer Keane raiding, gives it back to Gráinne Nolan. Clare playing some nice possession football. They're holding on to the ball well as well, under a lot of pressure, it has to be said. Sligo are obviously losing this game by a large margin as Nivo D strokes over Clare's 12 points. But one thing that you couldn't question of Sligo is their heart. Do you know? I mean, when you're losing a game like this, you could feel like giving up, but they haven't.
No, they're working really, really hard. Again, Clare were very patient on their build-up there. They worked the ball across the D, found Nivo D on her left side and popped it over. Again, but Sligo are fighting very, very hard. Going back to Carlow again, it's currently Laois 1-10, Kildare 1-6. So Mo nearly got a point there for Laois to settle them, so 4 points in that game. Roisin's after cutting. Oh no, Sligo on the ball.
Sligo have a bit of space in front of them now, and can they use it? Excellent run forward from Jade Lyons, who's come on as a sub. That's a great run. She still has the ball and tries to pick out a diagonal pass. It's a really good idea, and she finds Aisling Malloy, but Aisling Malloy does well to hold on to the ball. That was a great incision there from Jade Lyons, the Sligo wing forward. Eilís Cod has it now, and Sligo showing a bit of patience, trying to build it up a bit. Ruth Goodwin on the far side of the field up against Síofra Ní Cunnell. Ruth Goodwin does well, but Síofra Ní Cunnell is defending with real determination, and that was excellent defending there from the Clare cornerback, who wins the free out. And sometimes when you're winning a game fairly comprehensively, Anne-Marie, maybe defenders can lose concentration the odd time, but we haven't seen that from the likes of Síofra Ní Cunnell or from the likes of the Clare fullback.
They're staying very, very focused, and I can hear James is quite vocal on the line, so he's keeping them on their toes. There's good communication also. I know they're missing Ciara Hickey in there today. She sustained a knee injury in the last day she was sweeping, but the Clare aren't playing a sweeper today. They're going 15 against 15, and that's good, because when you've come up against other teams, you might have to use a sweeper, so it's good that they're working all together and they're working the ball really well out of defence.
Both teams now having gone in for the second half water break, 5-12. That's 27 points to Clare's 2, so 25-point lead. Clare need to win this by 19 points to have a chance of getting into the intermediate All-Ireland semi-final. So they're certainly on course to achieve that part of it, and we'll just have to see what happens up in Carlow in terms of that other game. It sounds like a really thrilling match between two Midland rivals, and as you well know, Anne-Marie, sometimes teams that know each other, whether it be a club or county, that you might expect a particular team that they should win this game, but derbies, sometimes you never know.
Yeah, you just never know what will happen on the day. There's still 4 points in that game, so it's going to come down to the last 15 minutes. Just to note as well that a draw will actually do Kildare to go through. So even if they can level the game in the last 15 minutes, unfortunately Clare will bow out. So it's worth noting as well that the winners in this group are playing Meath in the All-Ireland semi-final. Meath, big physical, tough team. So whoever comes out of this group was noticed as the group of death starting off, because it would be so close. And from what we can see, it is coming down to the last few points. And that happened in the club championship as well this year, with the senior championship, the men's, where it come down to points and scoring difference for the Clare men to stay in their group. So it's a kind of similar situation here now, so it's all to play for last 15 minutes in both games. Clare have the 25-point lead, Kildare are down 4. Very interesting to see what's going to happen. And
I really like the way in which you're multitasking as well, Anne-Marie. You're providing very incisive analysis on what's happening in 2 games. That is impressive.
That's the joys of modern technology now, Peter, but it's currently Laois 110, Kildare 2-6, so Kildare after getting a goal just before the 15-minute water break.
So say that again?
Yeah, so it's Laois 110, Kildare 2-6, Kildare after getting a goal just on the stroke of the 15-minute water break.
Okay, so certainly there's a huge momentum with Kildare in that game at the moment. Fidelma Marnin has now on far side of the field.
That's a super score from Fidelma.
Absolutely magnificent point, and Niamh O'Dea put over a super point earlier on, and that was every bit as good as that.
Yeah, Fidelma did that on numerous occasions during the club championship this year. She can score from any angle. She's very confident on the ball. Excellent score. That's one of the scores of the day. Brilliant. Kick out has been won by Ruth Goodwin.
And Ruth Goodwin is fouled and takes the free quickly. She tries to find Lauren Bowles from St. Michael's, and Sligo breaking forward again now. Clare Dunn, nice ball into space in front of the inside forward, who is wearing 10 but is playing full forward, Eilís Cod, but she spilled the ball, and Ellie O'Gorman again got it away. And
nice pick up from Fidelma.
Before we go any further, we're going to have to say happy birthday to our production manager Siobhan Herr, who I was just tipped off there a couple of minutes ago that it's her birthday. So no, I'm not great at singing, so I'm probably not going to sing happy birthday.
I don't think we actually have time for singing. We're so focused on this now, Peter.
We're so focused on this game, but happy birthday to Siobhan, and Alan Foley's going to sing later on, he told me, so we'll see about that.
Clare on the ball there. Gráinne Nolan is looking for support. She finds Emer O'Connor. Emer's looking for help. She finds Niamh O'Dea, no doubt Niamh will deliver the ball across field.
Niamh O'Dea holding on under a lot of pressure from Clare Dunn.
Very high tackle.
And eventually fouled. And we can see that the Sligo cornerback, Aoife Morris-Rowe, who was offered 10 minutes on a yellow card, is back in. The referee now, he's ticking the Sligo centre back Clare Dunn for that foul on Niamh O'Dea. Clare take it quickly. Gráinne Nolan under pressure, but holds on to it well. Under huge pressure, has to be said, from Sinead Naughton. That's a really good tenacious play from Sinead Naughton, doing everything she can to keep Clare out, but Clare now have it again through Fidelma Marnan breaking away. Can she get back onto her right foot? Gets it back as far as her clubmate Caoimhe Harvey. Lovely ball from Caoimhe Harvey in as far as the corner forward Amy Sexton, and Amy Sexton puts away her third goal.
That was an excellent delivery.
The pass was the super pass, and the finish equally.
Both the hard work from Amy, she ran out to the corner, she turned back in inside her defender, exactly what her corner forward had to do. Really intelligent play by Amy, who is only 17 years of age, so excellent score.
Yeah,
that's Amy's third goal today, so excellent.
Amy Sexton's finishing, it's just her finishing. Like she doesn't panic when she's in on one-on-one. A lot of other people might panic or might try to blast it, but she tries to place it, and really exceptional display of finishing all through this game from Amy Sexton. Clare well over that 19-point target, so we're just going to have to see what happens now in Carlow in terms of who comes out of the group. Niamh O'Dea tries to find a teammate, but it's really well cut out by Ruth Goodwin. Sligo have it again now. Sinead Naughton has it. Sinead Naughton spreads the play to the far side, where she finds Aisling Malloy. Aisling Malloy solos the ball, gets beyond a couple of tackles, and looks up, goes direct, ball in over the top. It was a great idea, but went a bit too far, and Michaela Glenn comes out and she finds her fullback Ellie O'Gorman, who finds Roisin Looney, and Clare now breaking out quite impressively from the back, and Amy Sexton in the middle of the field. So Clare clearly rotating a lot of their inside forwards to do a few minutes inside and then come out. Fidelma Marnan now trying to get back on the ball again.
Just an observation, Sligo seem to have a lot of players back, and I do think they need to come forward a little bit. They need to get a few more scores on the board. Roisin Looney is free inside here, and then Siofra O'Connell was free on an occasion there. So Sligo, I think, have too many players back. I know they're trying to stop Clare scoring, but I do think they need to get a few more scores on the board and push up the field a little bit and put pressure on the Clare backs.
We've got 9 minutes left here in Tuam in this round 3 Group 4 TG4 Intermediate Championship match. Clare leading Sligo by 6-13 to Sligo's 2 points.
In Carlow, play has just resumed after the 15-minute water break, and it's still Laois 110, Kildare 2-6. So still a point lead there for Laois. So
situation
Kildare have narrowed the gap, so I'm sure it's a very exciting game.
Gráinne Nolan now on the 21-yard line, steadies herself at a bit of an angle, but it shouldn't be a major problem, and it isn't. It's Clare's 14th point. Clare leading 6-14 to Sligo's 2 points. So Clare now looking at making a couple of substitutions here as well.
Aoibhinn Cunningham from Kilrush is coming in, and so is Sinead Constantine from Liscannor. So Sinead is a real workhorse. She'll probably go into the middle of the field or the half back line. Aoibhinn's an excellent forward. She scored some excellent scores for Kilrush down through the years, especially at minor level. Chloe Maloney is making way, and so is Louise Woods. So excellent play from Chloe and from Louise Woods, who worked really, really, really hard, and it's great to see Aoibhinn and Sinead coming in.
Play gets underway again. Battle between Sligo's they brought in their number 5 Ciara Gilroy. She wins a free on the far side of the field, won it well up against Anya Keane there, and the free is taken quickly. Sligo doing their best to build something here and make something happen, and Ruth Goodwin is doing exactly that. Ruth Goodwin gets beyond the tackle, leads it off as far as Aoife Morris-Rowe. Good football here from Sligo. Goodwin has it again now, lays it off as far as Eilís Codd. Eilís Codd does well to hold on to it. Sligo player goes to ground, thought there might have been a free in there, but the referee didn't see it that way, and Sligo now trying to put pressure on Clare as Clare break out, and the out ball finds Fidelma Marnan. Fidelma Marnan pops it off as far as Gráinne Nolan, and Marnan makes the return run again. Niamh O'Dea making a run this side of the field as well. The ball in front of Amy Sexton was just overhit, and Amy Sexton had made the perfect run, but the ball was just overhit. As Sligo look to make another substitution as well, they're going to bring in Tara Carty wearing number 19. Clare lost it but won it back again. Niamh O'Dea strokes the ball forward as far as Fidelma Marnan. Fidelma Marnan looks up, has the shot, and why not when you can put the ball over the bar like that. Clare 6-15, Sligo 2 points.
So just another update from Kildare. So Kildare, after getting another goal, so it's now Kildare 3-6, Laois 1-11. Kildare have taken the lead, they're up by a point. Mo Nerney got the point, and there was a goal scored before that.
So Kildare, have to say, have battled back unbelievably in that game.
But that's testament to the good team they are. Like we saw the fighting spirit that they had on the first day here against Clare. As I said, their forwards are excellent. They settled when Laois had the sin bin, but it just shows Laois fighting spirit. They went out all guns blazing to try and upset the results. Amy Sexton, great ball into Aoibhinn Cunningham.
Aoibhinn Cunningham now goes on the ball, goes to ground, free in, referee plays advantage. That's good refereeing from the referee.
Good work by Aoibhinn, yeah.
Great work. Won the ball under pressure, and I suppose it's always a test of a player. Can you win dirty ball?
Yeah, that 50-50 ball, yeah, excellent. But I think James has instilled that into this team to fight and work really, really hard. I've heard him saying it on numerous occasions during the last 3 games, and they're working really, really hard for each other.
Free now is going to be taken here by Grania Nolan again. She's done that. She's done this 5 or 6 times, and the result has generally been the same as it is on this occasion. Clare's 16th point. Clare leading 6-16 to Sligo's 2 points, and Sligo now bringing in their cornerback number 4, Aoife Gilroy, coming on as a sub.
Kildare have another point on the board, Peter, so it's Kildare 3-8, Laois 1-11, so they're gone into a 2-point lead in Carlow.
So certainly the pendulum and momentum seems to have swung very much in Kildare's favour in the other crucial game in this group. Again, a reminder, just in case you're tuning in and wondering why we keep on about a match that we're not at. If Kildare win, they're definitely through to the All-Ireland semi-final out of this group. They top the group. If Kildare didn't win, if Laois won, and if Clare won this game by 19 points, and they're obviously ahead by much more than 19 points at this stage, well then Clare would top the group and get into the semi-final.
Apologies, my maths were incorrect there. It's actually 3 points they're up. I calculated wrong, so it's 3-8 to 1-11, so Kildare up 3 points now.
So that's the situation up in Carlow. Here in Tuam, Clare are looking to maybe add a couple more scores to their total, and Sligo, as they have done all game, are battling really, really well and win a free out.
Laois are after equalising, so a level game again. Laois 2-11, Kildare 3-8, and there's after been a sin bin for Kildare, so it's very, very exciting altogether. So all to play for about maybe 7 or 8 minutes left there. Unbelievable
excitement up in Dr. Cullen Park. No question about that. So we'll be keeping a very, very close eye. The problem we'll have is if we finish here first before the game is finished in Carlow, we won't know what's happening.
Yeah.
But we might have to keep talking, Anne-Marie, for a few minutes.
We can do that, yeah.
You know, if there's one thing we can do, it's probably talk. You know.
Yes, so yeah, exactly.
We'll see what happens anyway. Eileen's caught inside, dispossessed magnificently again by Ellie O'Gorman at full back, and we've mentioned it a few times, but you know, Clare haven't been under much pressure in terms of having to defend, but in particular Ellie O'Gorman has everything time she's been involved. She's been excellent, as indeed I have to say has been Siofra Ní Cunnell at cornerback as well. Clare now trying to inject a bit of pace into the play in the middle of the field, and
if Niamh O'Dea can spot Emer O'Connor, she seems to be free on this wing, but she finds Emer Keane instead.
Pops it off as far as Emer Keane takes a return pass, gets it in as far as Fidelma Marnan. Fidelma Marnan had her hand on her head before the ball even went wide, because it was worth doing what she did, but it just eventually went wide, and I think we've got you might be able to hear a bit of excitement in the background there. And, it seems that Laois might have gone.
They're gone 2 points up now. Yeah.
So there's as Fidelma Marnan shoots, Clare's 17th points. Clare's 6-17. Sligo 2 points. We've got 2 minutes left here in Tuam. But there's no point in denying, Anne-Marie, that there's more focus on Carlow at the moment than there is on Tuam.
Absolutely.
And understandably.
Yeah, I think that the few people that are here behind us have tuned out a little bit and they're following the coverage. What a lob by Niamh O'Dea.
Niamh O'Dea, absolutely beautiful lob. The kick out from Sligo, it went wrong. Let's just leave it at that. But Niamh O'Dea, I think, capitalised magnificently, and an absolutely beautiful finish from Niamh O'Dea. 7-17 to 2 points.
Sorry, Kildare still have someone in the sin bin, and Laois are still 2 points up.
So it's we've got a minute and a half left here in Tuam Stadium, where unbelievably the sky is actually quite blue, and there's even the threat of a bit of sunshine.
Yeah.
So we've had
all the seasons
all
today.
kinds of weather today. Haven't had much of a breeze, thankfully. So at least we've avoided that. Ellie O'Gorman yet again weeds that ball forward from Sligo beautifully and gives a great pass as well. That's superbly caught by Gráinne Nolan. Lays it off as far as Emer O'Connor. Emer O'Connor gets it forward as far as Emer Keane. Emer Keane stoling the ball, finds Niamh O'Dea. Niamh O'Dea does well to hold on to it. There's a couple of Clare players loose inside. Niamh O'Dea has it again. Chances her right foot.
Yeah, if they had looked up there, Aoibhinn Cunningham had cut in around the back. Good movement from her, but we're 7-17 to 2 points now, so you just tag on a few more scores. Laois still haven't given up. Sligo still haven't given up. They're trying really, really, really hard.
So we're almost at full time here.
Laois are up 1 point now, so it's down to a single point again.
And you made, of course, a very important point earlier on when you said that a draw will be enough for Kildare. A draw will put Kildare into the All-Ireland semi-final.
Yeah, against Meath.
Against Meath. So that's the scenario up there. Another battle again where Siofra O'Connell gets her left foot to that ball, and the break was picked up by Ellie O'Gorman. And Clare play a nice direct ball forward as far as Amy Sexton. She goes down the ball, lovely footwork. Solas it does well to hold on to it. The referee plays advantage. He's got his hand up. Sinead Considine pops it back as far as Gráinne Nolan. Gráinne Nolan finding Ellie O'Gorman. Ellie O'Gorman out in the middle of the field now at this stage, where Eilish Kinney has it. Eilish Kinney pops it off as far as Roisin Looney. Roisin Looney bursts forward, taking on a couple of Kildare players, but John Devlin says she overcarried, so that's going to be a free out for Sligo. Clare leading Sligo by 7-17 to 2 points, but the free goes astray, cut out by Anya Keane. Roisin Looney pops it as far as Fidelma Marnin. Fidelma Marnin puts that high up into the sky, straight over the bar. Absolutely great score from Fidelma Marnin. 7-18 to Sligo's 2 points, and I'm not sure what the situation is above. And
Laois are still 2 points ahead. So to the last couple of minutes in that.
Time is up here. We've had a minute of injury time. So the game, well, it's obviously over here on the scoreboard, but it's also over as well on the field. So Clare did what they had to do, beating Sligo by 7-18. To 2 points.
So if it goes Clare's way, I think there's 2 minutes left, and if Laois beat Kildare, it's the least that these Clare girls deserve. They have worked really, really hard. Things just didn't go well on the first day. A few little mistakes, but they deserve to go through on that. They've worked really, really hard. So we're going to keep going here until we get a definitive result from Carlow to see exactly what happens. So Clare did all they could, did what they had to do. Had to win it by 19 points. And I think the Clare girls are coming off the field here and they can't believe the scoreline from Carlow. They're waiting in anticipation now for a result from us. So we're gonna keep talking here, and we might talk to one or two people on camera as well in a couple of minutes. We'll just see what happens. But in the meantime, we're just everybody here has got their phone out. Yes. And they're looking at what's happening in Carlow. A reminder again, just in case you're wondering, what are we on about? Well, in this group, Clare, Sligo, who of course played here today, are joined of course by Kildare and Laois. And if Kildare won their game today, which is on at the very same time in Carlow, if they won it, well, they would be, or drew it, they would be into the All-Ireland semi-final against Meath. Whereas if Laois beat Kildare, well then Clare would be through as long as they won this game by 19 points, which they have done. So that's the situation. So there's
a lot of anticipation here. Maybe we can even see some of the people on the phones here as well.
Yes, just 2 minutes to go, so if we can.
So there's 2 minutes left up in Carla, so we're just going to keep talking and see what happens. So in the meantime, we're going to play some of the replays here, and we'll be back in a couple of minutes with a definitive full-time score from Carla. The Sligo quarterback Aoife Morris-Rowe has got a yellow card, and the free taken by Gráinne Nolan. Gráinne Nolan puts that over the bar, and Clare extend their lead. Can she be found with the pop? She can. She's in on goal, in towards Niamh O'Dea. Niamh O'Dea turns on her left foot, puts that over the bar, and that really is exceptionally good football.
This game.
And Clare now through Niamh O'Dea. The referee is playing advantage. Niamh O'Dea in on goal, and eventually shoots into the back of the net. It's the free yet, and unlikely to miss this one, and she doesn't. Strokes it over the bar. It's Clare's 10th point, so Clare now leading by 5. A lot of pressure, it has to be said. Sligo are obviously losing this game by a large margin as Niamh O'Dea strokes over Clare's 12th point. But one thing that there's a huge momentum with Kildare in that game at the moment. Fidelma Marnin has no far side of the field.
That's a super score from Fidelma.
Absolutely magnificent points. Gets it back as far as our club mate Caoimhe Harvey. Lovely ball from Caoimhe Harvey in as far as the corner forward Amy Sexton, and Amy Sexton put up. She's done that. She's done this 5 or 6 times, and the result has generally been the same as it is on this occasion. Clare's
Laois now.
Laois might have gone.
They're gone 2 points up now. Yeah.
So there's as Fidelma Marnin shoots, Clare's 17th 2 points, but the free goes astray, cut out by Anya Keane. Roisin Looney pops it as far as Fidelma Marnin. Fidelma Marnin puts that high up into the sky, straight over the bar. And you're welcome back again live to Tuam Stadium, and as you can see here from the pictures, we're focused not necessarily on Tuam Stadium but on Dr. Cullen Park in Carlow, where the last we heard Anne-Marie Canlon, there was still 2 points in it, and in fact it's just been confirmed that incredibly Laois have beaten Kildare, and the Clare girls here celebrating wildly. Clare have qualified for the All-Ireland Intermediate semi-final. They had to win this game here against Sligo by 19 points, which they did. They won it by 17 to 2 points. And incredibly, the very warm favourites, Kildare up against Laois, didn't get the result that they needed. They needed either to draw it or win it, and it didn't happen. Incredible. Yeah,
it's the least that Clare deserve. They have worked so hard over the last 3 games. They've used their panel really, really well, and as you can see from the celebrations behind us, it's what they deserve.
We're going to try and talk to 1 or 2 people from the Clare camp if we can in a couple of minutes, but Anne-Marie, we have to be completely honest and say that there's no way we would have expected this to happen. I mean, we would have, people involved with Clare might have hoped that it was going to happen, but it was always very unlikely.
Yeah, it was a huge task, and I think even for Clare to beat Sligo by 19 points, it's mighty. Commiserations to Laois, who worked really, really hard. So they were unlucky. They don't go through because of scoring difference, so they conceded quite a lot to Clare and to Sligo. So that's why Laois don't go through.
We're going to try and get a word now with a couple of people involved with Clare. Jerry Keane has joined me, the Clare coach. And Jerry, if you can just come into the mic there, unbelievable set of results there.
Yeah, we're saying it's like the American election there. We're waiting for the results. We got a false alert there, so we still don't know. I think the game is still going on.
Okay, so we when we heard all the excitement there, we thought that.
Yeah, no, we're still waiting for the full result.
Okay. Well, we might talk to you and maybe 1 or 2 others in a couple of seconds.
We'll give you a shout there
once we get confirmation of that. Thanks indeed for that. So we're just going to have to maybe keep talking for another few seconds, Anne-Marie. We thought that was it. It turns out maybe it isn't it.
Yeah, we heard some celebrations in the background, but I think I heard 30 seconds being mentioned there. So everyone's waiting in anticipation for that result.
Looking at the group as a whole, Anne-Marie, I mean, I think the fact that the game today between Laois and Kildare is obviously so close and so exciting, it underlines that there were some really good teams in that group. Kildare without a doubt, Clare definitely, and Laois as well.
Yeah, and like as I said, the Ladies Gaelic Association said it was the group of death a couple of weeks ago when the teams were named, because they were so close, and during the league campaign they would have met each other as well and games would have been close. So it just shows like it has come down to this in the last 30 seconds. We're waiting on results.
One aspect of the game today from a Sligo point of view that I thought was really impressive, as we get confirmation from Carlo that this time definitely it seems that Kildare have been beaten, and Clare are through to the All-Ireland semi-final against Meath.
Yeah, it's brilliant, and it's something to look forward to. Again, as I said, it'd be hard look on Laois, who tried really, really hard, but unfortunately they conceded lots of scores, so they don't go through on that. But huge well done to Clare, and they battled the last three weeks, and they have done excellently. So super proud and well done to James and all his backroom team, who are working really, really hard. They've lots of fellas on stats there, and they're excellent, so it's great.
So that's just about it from Tuam Stadium. It's been an extremely exciting afternoon. Well done to Clare for getting through. The very last point I'll make, Anne-Marie, is Sligo were well beaten today, but I have to say they kept going right to the end.
Yeah,
it's a hard thing to do.
They're a team for the future. Like, they're building. I think they're a team in transition at the moment, and they have young girls coming through, and I've no doubt they'll be thereabouts again next year. They're building their team at the moment, and a credit to them. They fought to the last minute today, and they did really, really well. So at least it's dry now again, so it was a great day for them.
And we're delighted to be joined again now by Ger Keane, the Clare coach. And Ger's just moving to the mic there. Just for a quick word, it's confirmed. Can you believe it has happened, Ger?
Well, it's the toughest 10 minutes there. It was really surreal there, trying to wait for the result, but it's brilliant. It's absolutely fantastic for the girls now, and they deserved it. Like, we didn't know what we could only control what they did today, so the girls did brilliantly there today. And in fairness, great credit to Laois as well for putting out a performance like that.
And we're just talking about it there. The quality of football played in this group was very, very high. I mean, the Clare-Kildare game at the start was a great game, and it must have been Kildare and Laois up in Carlow today.
Yeah, it was a very tight group, and we knew that. We knew we were expecting the first game to be awful tough. And there's no quarterfinals this year, which there probably should be. So it was only one to the semi-final. So no, we're improving the whole time, and that's the brilliant thing, to be in a semi-final now and still room to improve and improve, and it's brilliant.
And Gerard, just a very final thing, the game today, you made a lot of changes, and a lot of players, it's going to be tough for you to pick a starting 15 the next day.
Absolutely, Peter, and that's the strength of the panel. And there was girls that weren't picked today who had been playing well. We just wanted to give girls who maybe hadn't been picked and were unlucky the chance today, and they stepped up to the plate, and everyone's going to be champing at the bit now, and it's going to be great to get back to training now. We thought we were finished this Sunday, but we're not complaining. We're delighted to be going back again next week.
Brilliant. Thanks indeed to the Clare coach, Ger Keane. So that's about it from Tuam, and I'd just like to thank everyone who helped us out over the last few weeks. Thanks to Anne-Marie Canlon, our match analyst for all three games. Thanks to Alan Foodie. Thanks to Siobhan Herher as well. Happy birthday again to Siobhan. Just thought I might remind her of that. And to Tracy Maloney on sound as well, and to Mike Corrie and Shane Dorgan on camera. So thanks indeed to everyone. Thanks to all counties who helped us. Kildare, Laois, Sligo and Clare were all very, very helpful to us over the last few weeks. So it's been a pleasure to bring the games. So for myself, Peter O'Connell, thanks indeed, and good evening.